If you have even the slightest interest in the gaming industry, chances are that you've heard of a little game called Doom. Often regarded as the father of the FPS genre, premiering in 1993, acquiring 5 main entry titles up until the year 2004, after which the series would lay dormant for over 10 years. Then, like a second portal opening from hell, in the glorious year of 2016, Doom would make a return, and boy did he return in style, with a kick-ass soundtrack, revamped gameplay mechanics, and a name to match it all.
They are rage, brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear, until it is done.
Confusingly naming itself after the first game in the franchise, earning it the name Doom 2016. Doom 2016 is what most consider to be a soft reboot to the franchise. Making such a big return to the gaming industry, Doom set out to wow gamers with its complex and unique. Okay, so maybe the story isn't the best part of Doom 2016. However, I think that was intentional. The story is very simple and easy to follow, while also allowing for more lore and explanations to be found using data pads throughout the level. Doom has a total of 13 levels with a story that can pretty much be summed up using these spark notes. Wake up in a Mars facility. Find out what happened to said facility. Stop the facility from melting down. Destroy important energy resources. Get sucked into hell. Fight your way out of hell. Lab gets destroyed anyway. Travel through an average day at the office. Acquire a big effing gun. Learn how to close the portal. Fight mediocre boss to get the Argent accumulator. Open another portal to hell. Obtain the crucible. Shut down the robot that has been helping us the whole time. Suck off 3 wraiths. Fight a really big spider with a brain. Close the portal and have Robot Man rob you of the cool sword. While it's not the most complex story, the simple design of it allows the game to shine where it's polished. The gameplay. Doom aimed to revamp the classic formula that the forefathers had set. Fast-paced, action-packed mayhem, and I say it succeeded. Doom does not shy away from flaunting what makes it great. Abundant weapon variety, introduction of glory kills for that delicious gory action, and mostly balanced enemies with unique weaknesses. Doom 2016 offers 3 main difficulties to the player at the start of a new game. I'm Too Young to Die, Hurt Me Plenty, and Ultraviolence. I wanted to play Doom the way Doom Guy intended, so obviously I played on Ultraviolence. If you want to be spoon-fed and cradled like a little baby, then feel free to play the other 2 difficulty options. In my opinion, the difficulty options in this game were severely unbalanced, an issue that the sequel would fix. I'm Too Young to Die is fine. It's supposed to be the easy mode, and easy it is. However, Hurt Me Plenty should be called It Hurts Very Minimally. Maybe I'm just a mega Chad gamer, but trying to play through this game on regular difficulty was borderline like watching Hunter x Hunter. I was about to fall asleep. The Doom gods would soon punish me though, because after completing the main game, Doom opens up the difficulties of Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. Virtually impossible difficulties. Die once in Nightmare mode? Back to the start of the level for you. Die once in Ultra Nightmare mode? Back to the start of the game for you, buddy. One of the biggest appeals that Doom offers is the wide variety of weapons in your arsenal. Starting off with only the pistol and combat shotgun, you eventually get access to a multitude of weapons including heavy assault rifle, plasma rifle, rocket launcher, super shotgun, Gauss cannon, Gatling gun, BFG 9000, and chainsaw. Each of the weapons previously listed has their usefulness during regular gameplay, except the plasma rifle. It's literally just bad. However, one critique I do have about the weapon balancing on the harder difficulties is the complete dominance of certain weapons. In the late game of Ultraviolence, almost half the weapons become a waste of ammo rather than a useful tool to help kill the demons. I believe the reason this is because the late game enemies gain so much health that the damage output just does not match that of other weapons. Due to the introduction of weapon modifications gained from punching field drones, Super Shotgun, Rocket Launcher with lock-on attachment, and Gauss Cannon with high precision beam dominated my late game combat encounters. It is by far the fastest and most efficient way to clear through the waves of enemies. Speaking of enemies, Doom 2016 offers around 18 base enemies and 3 bosses. Like any good game, Doom starts a player off fighting weaker enemies like imps, undead, and occasionally Hell Knights, whereas late game enemies include cacodemons, pinkies, specters, mancubuses, and cyber mancubuses, all of which are bullet sponges without the proper weapons or techniques to kill them. Overall, I feel the balance of enemies is pretty fair, with the big tanky enemies only being able to perform melee attacks, minus the Baron of Hell, while the smaller enemies use projectiles from a distance. Probably the worst of the bunch are the pinky/specters. These stupid alien cucks only like getting hit from the back, paws, and will take 75% of your health in one hit. Now on to talk about the bosses in Doom 2016. There are 3 main bosses to the game: Cyber Demon, Hell Guards, and Spider Mastermind. Out of these bosses, Spider Mastermind was probably my favorite. The Cyber Demon was probably my least favorite, mainly due to the fact it's just like the Baron of Hell, but with robot armor. The one that caught me off guard was the Hell Guards, because they really let you kill the first phase pretty easily, and then they hit you with the, here's 2 now, fight the same dude, but now there's 2 of them, and they just let you duke it out with. Overall, the enemy and weapon variety are fine and dandy thanks to the level design and music to accompany them. The last piece of ribbon to tie up Doom 2016 into a nice little bow is the level design and music. Each level of Doom is masterfully crafted to allow for a nice flow throughout the mission, excluding the Foundry, where you do a lot of backtracking. While the basic formula for how Doom's levels are designed may be simple, the environment and obstacles placed throughout allow the game to feel a bit more complex in the later levels. All levels essentially follow this structure: start mission, combat zone, transition zone/platforming, combat zone, rinse and repeat, in the level. This simple design structure allows for Doom to maintain its high-octane energy gameplay without it getting thrown at the player all at once. Also scattered throughout each of the levels are power-ups that the player can use to gain an advantage during combat zones. Berserk, Quad Damage, and Invulnerability are all power-ups that can affect how you approach combat encounters. Tactically waiting to use these power-ups in a multi-wave combat zone can dramatically improve the chances of surviving said encounter. One of the most genius aspects to Doom 2016's approach to revitalizing the series was the addition of dynamic music during gameplay. Essentially, the game monitors the beats and rhythm of the gameplay and adds music to match said beats. During combat sequences, when the player is ripping and tearing through the demonic horde, the music is often heavy and intense. Whereas once the sequence is finished and the player is finishing off that last demon, the music also dies out with the demon, allowing the player to take a breather before the next sequence begins. Also, no one can tell me that Doom 2016's music is not iconic. Anytime you hear Doom music, you know something badass is about to go down. While Doom 2016 was not received as the greatest game revival, averaging around 7 to 8 on most reviews, I and many others think that it was a good start. It set the basic foundation for where the sequel, Doom Eternal, would come in and build a golden mansion and default dance on the corpse of its predecessor, absolutely crushing the standards for the franchise and games in general. But that's a topic for another video.